as long as it takes to bring that criminal to justice.
We should pursue a criminal until he is caught and in jail.
I don't think there should be a maximum time that we should look for some people. I think we should catch them.
The advances in technology we're making, we could probably chase after them faster and faster and catch up more and more until we finally just catch them.
I'm determined you should just keep on until you catch him. I mean, eventually he'll get caught. You look at Osama bin Laden, it took 10 years, but he was eventually caught, so.
About 5 years probably, because it's been so long from that time now that everyone's probably forgotten about it, and it's not really, there's probably other crimes that are more severe than that one. I think it really depends on the type of crime that has been done.
Criminals should never be left off the hook. You should pursue criminals to this. That's what justice is, right? If you let somebody go, before justice is served, then people will be free to do whatever they wanted because they know, they just have to hide out until it's over. So forever.
Joseph Kony is a very, very, lack of better words, horrible guy. He basically kidnaps kids, forces them to work as his army, killing other people, and yeah.
I think that when I first saw the video, my friend showed it to me from his Facebook account. I actually was kind of shocked at why would someone want to take kids and turn them against their parents and make them kill their parents and then feed them like marijuana and stuff like that, and then eventually the kids just die.
I think he is a bad man who takes kids.
I'm not that well educated in about Joseph Kony, but from what I hear, I think he's in the slave trade. That's about all I know.
I saw the video on YouTube. It's pretty bad, but unfortunately things like that happen in this world. And
I think personally he is an evil, evil man, and that he should be caught as soon as possible. Like, I don't want him to keep doing what he's doing. SEAL Team 6?
People say that it's the government's responsibility, the police department's the responsibility, everyone else's responsibility but our own. When in reality, it is our own responsibility to catch these criminals and bring them to justice.
We all have a responsibility. Joseph Kony must be stopped. I am Colt and I approve this message.
The Navy, Army, Marines, and such, and of course the police. Maybe the National Guard could help. I mean,
I would probably lean more towards the country needing to lead themselves into the fight to get him, and then we could support that.
Maybe the United Nations people could have a couple of nations' armies join forces and technology and such, and they could all just team up and go after Kony.
I think it's everybody's responsibility because we should all help out in some way, whether it's donating or helping out invisible children, because we all need to work together in unity to stop Kony.
Some call it cover the night. To us, it's more. Much more. There's more to this night than jumping on the bandwagon driven by a viral video shared around the internet. It's more than plastering the face of some bad guy on every other light pole in your neighborhood. It's more than sporting a cool glow-in-the-dark wristband so that when people ask you about it, you say, "Oh, it's a Kony wristband. Hey, look, it glows." For us, it's much more than that. I know. You've already seen the video. You've already sat through the 30-minute viral video that stirred the hearts of the nation and the world. You've already heard about this guy named Joseph Kony, how he's extended his reign of terror in Uganda and across the Central African Republic, South Sudan, and the Congo. You've heard of the Lord's Resistance Army, his special blend of cult followers, soldiers, and hostages. There are some images you just can't get out of your mind. Images of the kids he's kidnapped, of the girls he's turned into sex slaves, of the boys he's forced to serve as child soldiers, and of the parents they were forced to kill. And of course, there are the images of those who have been tortured and disfigured horribly. And in that video, you've also seen how organizations like Invisible Children have provided aid on the ground in Uganda, rebuilding schools, creating jobs, and building an early warning radio network. The videos show their efforts in Washington, D.C., where they pleaded their case before the policymakers who could make a difference. You know of the deployment of U.S. government forces to Uganda to assist in the efforts on the ground there. And here, you've become first-hand witness to the efforts of a major awareness campaign called Kony 2012. And now you are aware. You are aware of Kony's existence, you are aware of the horror that he has wrought upon Central Africa, and you are aware that something has to be done. And so you have reacted. You've reacted to the travesty, to the injustice, to the evil that you have witnessed. And all across the country, others have reacted as well. In the media, in your home, in your classrooms, over Twitter, on Facebook. You've discussed, debated, argued, and wondered about the reality of the situation and the legitimacy of everyone involved. And you may have even debated over whether or not Kony's even still alive. And so you dug even deeper. And you discovered that there's more to Kony than even a 30-minute video can expose. He says he's a freedom fighter, fighting for democracy. He also believes that he's a spirit medium who hears the Holy Spirit of God. And his organization, the Lord's Resistance Army, is supposedly based on the 10 Commandments of the Bible. There's an evil depth to the torture that he's brought in the name of his warped sense of spiritual duty. He believes that he's cleansing his people in order that they become a righteous people. And those who don't support him, he sees that they must be eliminated. And not only Kony, but you dug deeper into the organization that made the man's image go viral. You discovered that they weren't the only ones, nor are they the first who have started on this campaign of justice and mission of mercy. There are more who are working to rescue abducted children, prevent more kidnappings, and bring criminals to justice. And the more you dig, the more you realized that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Joseph Kony is not the only evil the world has seen. There's more injustice in the world than just the abduction of kids and the indoctrination of child soldiers. There's sex slavery, there's human trafficking, there's piracy. There are those who abuse women and abuse children and abuse power. There are evil men, evil women, and evil governments. And the more you dig, the more you realize that this kind of stuff doesn't just happen in other countries, it happens in our own backyard. Even Hawaii, the land of palm trees and pineapples, is a haven for shady activity. Even here, people are kidnapped and forced to serve as slaves for labor or for sex or for more. Some travel here in search of a better life, but instead they are caught up in a lifestyle from which there is no escape, no one to help, no one who will rescue them, no one who will speak up for them. What is your response? Do you simply click share and go on to the next viral video? Do you step up and do something more? Do you get out of your chair and actually do something to help those who can't help themselves? Do you put hands and feet to words or turn a blind eye, close your laptop, and live your own life? You are overwhelmed. You are helpless. You feel numb. There's so much evil in the world. There are so many who need to be brought to justice. There are so many who need to be rescued. Do we really need to do something? Do we really have a duty to step up and stand for those who can't? Do we really have to get up out of the spectator seats and into the arena? God says, yes. Yes, you do. In His Word it says, He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. And elsewhere, it says, to deprive a man of justice in the presence of the Most High, of these things the Lord does not approve. And still, another passage says, O Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will strengthen their heart. You will incline your ear to vindicate the orphan and the oppressed, so that the man who is of the earth will no longer cause terror. And throughout Scripture, we see that God is a God of justice, a God of righteousness, a God of holiness. He is a God of truth, of mercy, of compassion, of freedom. He champions the cause of the weak, the fatherless, the orphan, and the widow. He strengthens the weary. He uplifts the downtrodden. He frees the captive, and he loves the unloved. He stands for those who can't stand on their own. He lights the path for those who can't find their way, and he provides salvation for people who can't save themselves. And he calls us to do the same. He says, learn to do good, seek justice, reprove the ruthless, defend the orphan, plead for the widow. He also says, preserve justice and do righteousness, for my salvation is about to come and my righteousness to be revealed. And yet elsewhere he says, do justice and righteousness, and deliver the one who has been robbed from the power of his oppressor. Also do not mistreat or do violence to the stranger, the orphan, or the widow. So get up, sign those petitions, tweet and retweet those messages, and share everything you can on Facebook. Do your research, dig deeper, and become even more aware. Step up, sign those letters, mail those envelopes, put on those cool bracelets, and spread the word. For some of you, there will be even more to do. And for others, this may be all you can do. But for all of us, we need to step up and do what God calls each of us to do. But make no mistake, it's not just about doing good things this one time, but it's about living it out loud in our everyday lives. At home, at school, at work, in the neighborhood. We are to live out justice, live out compassion, live out grace, live out mercy. We are to live out truth, live out righteousness, live out love, and we are to live it out loud. Some call it cover the night. And to us, it's so much more.